Hey everybody, Tony from Shooting Star SVG back, and today I am going to go through an Etsy shop critique. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on like and subscribe below, as that keeps me motivated to continue making these videos so that way you can grow your business and change your life. As a lot of you know that have been here, I've been starting this Etsy shop critique thing where I will go through a shop and do this off the cuff and go through their layout of their store, as well as list two listings in their shop and do a deep dive into that as far as what's going to help them increase sales and traffic on their store. A lot of these shops are newer in nature, but some of them have been around for a little bit. So keep that in mind. Each one of these is going to be a little bit different, with something that you can probably take away from it, even if it's not your store. So today we are going to be doing a shop critique on JusJoe designs, and I'm going to go ahead and go over to my computer screen so you can see that, and we'll go ahead and get started. So, okay, Dina has a really nice banner image up here, and it looks like she's brand spanking new and has just recently opened her shop at some time in August. So I'm going to go ahead and click on favorite, as I always do. I would definitely recommend that you create a logo of some sort with your name, and that may inspire you to change your banner, but I think these flowers are really pretty and the colors aren't like too clashy or whatever, so it's good. I can see that you do have your shop sections filled out, which is good. And you have kind of separated those into file types. What I would recommend is maybe instead of doing file types, to make them kind of more category specific. So just looking at the 16 files that you have here on your shop, a lot of them are concentric around religion. Some of them are just text-based, where some are more floral. So you could do a section that is like religion floral, or religion like proverbs or whatever it may be, to kind of make those shop sections a little bit more specific. I see you do have all of your images are your promo images are very consistent with that bottom bar, which is the same banner that you utilize on the top, and you do mention what file types you have, so that is a good start. If I could suggest anything though, this banner is taking up a good chunk of that image. You may want to consider decreasing the size, not having so many elements on that banner, and just keeping it one color and stating that file type, and that way you can have some more room to expand what your design looks like. That way the people who are scrolling through get more detail. But it is really, really pretty work. So you're doing a great job, for real. You do have a little bit of a story in here and about you as a shop member, which is good. And your shop policies seem to be filled out a little bit, and you may want to consider adding some FAQ in. The more information that you have filled out in your shop, the better. Etsy sees that as, hey, this is somebody who's really serious about selling on our platform. They are not a robot, they are not spam, and so you get a little extra boost in the search algorithm based off of how filled out your shop sections are. So just keep that in mind, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and look at her listings now. And again, it looks like she's mainly focused on PNGs for sublimation, which is fine. And some of these do look like four of them are the SVG type. So I'm gonna take a look at a few sublimation images. I've already pulled up the ones that I'd like to look at, and I'm going to be utilizing eRank as well to go through this. So for this first one, she believes she could sublimation image ping. There's only 2 images here. It looks like the promo image that she has created, as well as one mock-up If I could recommend anything, I would definitely recommend adding some more images to your listing. Maybe include this graphic on a few other different mockups, which you can do by utilizing Placeit very quickly and easily. And I have a link for that down below in the video description. You could also add in an image about this being a digital download, and that way people are very clear when they're going through the photos that this is not a physical product and they will not be receiving a physical product. Okay, but try to get a few more images in there. I'm also guilty for not putting in enough images on my listings, and that's something I'm actively working on this year, and I've really been recommending that. It gives you a little bit of a boost in Etsy search if you have all 10 of your images filled out, but sometimes in our case, in the digital download world, it can be a little bit difficult to do that. So just be creative and think about how you can showcase your work on different materials and things like that. So as far as the title goes, this is not a bad one. I would, if this was me, I would probably do "She believed she could, so she did" sublimation print, and just leave it at that. You don't need the PNG in there. That's kind of a waste of title space there, because you can easily put that down in your description as well. In this case, her description is below the image. You do talk about this being a digital download and that a physical product will not be received. You list your file format, which is the PNG at 300 ppi with a transparent background. One thing that I do recommend when you are selling PNGs is listing the dimensions of the PNG itself, because a lot of people will get thrown off. I have gotten feedback from some of my listings, as well as in the community. I have seen people get feedback where they will list something for sublimation, but they don't make it big enough. Now, it's fine if you're taking the size and decreasing it down, you're not going to lose quality. But if you're increasing the size, you're going to lose quality. So you want to make sure that it's going to be the right size for your customer, and so putting the size in there is really going to help them decide as to whether or not it is something that they can purchase and use for what they're looking for. In this case, a lot of sublimation designs are used on t-shirts, tote bags, pillows are a very popular thing, and things like coffee mugs and the like. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that your design is large enough to fit on a larger size t-shirt, or you're missing the mark on an entirely separate market. Okay, so I would recommend putting the dimensions of your design in there. That will definitely help. Okay, you do have some terms of use in here, and you may want to expand on your terms of use. Aside from that, you want to take your title and copy and paste it in the first line of your description. That will help with your SEO. And okay, now we're going to kind of go dig into the tags of this. So, okay, the tags need a lot of work. You want to try to use as many of your tag spaces as possible, and from what I can see here, your tags are very generic in nature, and so for you to show up in a search result is going to be ridiculously difficult, because based on these tags, Etsy has no idea what you're trying to sell. It will get buried in the sea of sublimation designs. So for this one, you would want to go on maybe Marmalade or Etsy Rank and type in some of these more high traffic keywords. But you definitely want to put in "she believes she could," if that would fit, if it's less than 20. "So she did." Somehow make sure the whole title is in the tags as well, even if you have to chop it up a little bit. You could add something in there about floral sublimation, because you have the flower in the background. Proverb sublimation, scripture quote sublimation, scripture quote graphic. You can also add some keywords in there about wall art and digital downloads or printables. That way you're filling the space out, because you're never going to get up in the search results with just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tags. Okay, so you definitely want to work on your tags. And if you need help with that, let me know. I'm more than happy to provide my services to help you guys out with your tags. I'm not like some super Saiyan SEO expert, but I tend to think I know what I'm doing after being on Etsy for a period of time. I know how to use these keyword tools to my advantage, and I'm more than happy to help you also learn how to use these keyword tools to your advantage. I don't want to do it all for you, because then if I'm not around, you're not going to know what tags to utilize. So the easiest thing for me to do is really teach you how I do things, so that way you can try to apply the same tactics. And as you learn and grow and research more about SEO, you'll get much better at this. Trust me, okay? It took me some time, and I was in the same boat at the beginning where I would make really general, generic tags, and now I've gotten to be more specific, which really, really helps, okay? So overall, good effort. We'll move on to the next one. This is a Waymaker Sublimation Image Ping download. Okay, so again with the title, you're going to want to get rid of the PNG and the download in the title. And I would put in here Waymaker Isaiah 42:16 sublimation print and leave it like that. This is not wine, by the way, it's fruit punch. It's 8 a.m. You do mention that there's a PNG that's good in your promo image, and you do have one mock-up. So again, I'm going to recommend that you do this on a few other different mediums, like maybe a canvas or a poster to show wall art. You can do it on some different clothing. You can do it on a coffee mug. You could do it on a notebook. Really anything that will also showcase the design in different ways outside of a t-shirt that will bring more people in to your shop. So keep that in mind. Again, there is a link for Placeit in the description box below this video, and you can check that out. It's a very useful tool. Okay, so I'm going to assume that the description is the same as the last one, and it is. So again, once you fix that title up, you're going to copy and paste it and put it at the top of the description, okay? And the reason why you do this is because Etsy's going to think this when somebody goes in to type this into search. Somebody types in Waymaker Sublimation Design, okay? And you have it in your title, and you have it in your description, and you have it in your tags. Etsy's like, oh yeah, okay, this is exactly what the customer is searching for, so I'm going to put this at the top of the search results, okay? So keep that in mind. And I'm going to go ahead and go over and check out the tags here. And again, you can see it has sublimation image, digital download, scripture, proverb, scripture, quote, okay? So again, you want to expand on these, okay? You probably want to include something like flower, something along the lines of floral. I was trying to think of the words, and it's beyond me right now. Waymaker sublimation, Isaiah, whatever it is. What was it? I don't want to mess that up. Okay, Isaiah 42:16 sublimation, Isaiah 42:16 wall art, printable wall art, printable religious wall art, sublimation something or other. Okay, so you just have to think and have that same mindset, and I think I've said this in quite a few videos by now. You want to have the mindset of the customer. What is the customer going to be searching for when they come on Etsy that's going to bring them to your shop? And some of the things could be really off the wall that nobody else is thinking of. So you just have to be creative. Like if you were to go on Etsy and look for a certain product, what are you going to search for? You're going to try to be as specific as possible. You're not going to want to be ridiculously broad. Like if I'm looking for, you know, something for Valentine's Day that I can put on one of my kids' shirts, I might type in Valentine's Day SVG for boys t-shirt. Okay, that's a long ass tag, but it's specific enough that if somebody has utilized their tags and put things in there, and then they're going to show up at the top of that search result. Okay, so definitely want to work on those tags. Aside from that, I mean, the work is really beautiful, so I got to give it to you. I don't want to just, there wasn't much for me to delve into as far as titles and tags. You just really need to make sure that they're optimized for what you're doing. Get your titles into the description. I'm just going to go over to Etsy real fast, and we will just search for Waymaker Sublimation Design and see what you're working with here. There's 125 results with ads. So this tells me that yours should show up here somewhere. And we will see if we can find it. Since there's only 3 pages. It's a problem in itself, right? Because the way that you have your title and your tag set up, this is not even pulling up on Etsy for me searching Waymaker Sublimation Design. So that's why it's important to think about how you would search for something like this. That's how I particularly would search. I'm just not seeing it. So for you to really jumpstart your shop, and I highly recommend that you do this now instead of waiting for later, is really focus on those titles and tags. It is painful, but it is going to save you so much time later as you build your shop, because you're not going to have to go back and redo everything. I had to do that, right? So when I started back in 2018, I was just throwing stuff up there. I didn't know what I was doing. I was using tags like DXF, JPEG, SVG, Cricut, cut files, like just really basic tags. And then I was like, this isn't working. I literally had to go back and redo tags on like, oh God, I don't know. It was like 200 listings. It was something crazy like that. The good thing is I did utilize bulk listing edits through GetVela, and I'll post the video on how to do that up above so you guys can check that out. And I was able to go in and delete all the BS tags basically. And then I had to go in one by one and, just update the tags in the bulk editor on Etsy, which was a painful process. And I'm still working on some listings. So if you get ahead of it now, it's really, really going to help you in the end. But that's all I have right now. Dina, this is a really good first effort on starting your shop. I mean, you made the first step, which is get going and get stuff listed and up there, and you're asking for feedback, which is great. So hopefully you can take some of these tips, apply that to your shop, apply that moving forward, and that's really going to help you get up in the search ranks, because when we're working in such a competitive market, you need to figure out what's going to set you aside from the rest. And I really think that these tips are going to make that happen for you. You do want to focus on getting a logo created, okay? Finish filling out your shop sections, particularly your policies and your FAQ, in case people have questions. Work on this promo image so that the bottom bar is a little less detail oriented. You may want to consider just changing the colors around a little bit. Take the logo that you're potentially going to be creating and including it on that bottom bar. I like that you're including the file type in there, so that is a good step. Your listings are beautiful. The work is really good, so you just want to make sure that you're setting yourself apart from the rest of the sea of Etsy sellers, so that when people are scrolling through, they're going to stop and click. And for that to happen, you have to make sure that your tags and titles are there, okay? So you really need to work on that. But if you need help with suggestions, feel free to drop a line on this video, go over to the Facebook group and drop a line, whatever you think that you need to do to make yourself successful. We are one big team, and helping each other really is something that we should be focused on, okay? Hopefully everybody else who's watching got something out of this video. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click on the like and subscribe below, as that does keep me motivated to continue making these videos, so that way you can grow your business and change your life. And if y'all need anything else, go ahead and drop a comment below. If not, I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.